All right, Rob, tonight, Lakers at Denver at the Nuggets. And I want to, quickly, I'm picking the Lakers to win the series, but I'm picking the Nuggets to win the night. I think the Lakers, there's always an adjustment to that playing in Colorado,
in the altitude.
Yes, the altitude is a real thing. So I think the Nuggets get tonight, but I think the Lakers get the series. You're picking the Nuggets, and
yes.
So to win the series. But Rob, here's an interesting discussion. What player? There's 4 left, obviously. Miami, Boston, Lakers, Nuggets, Los Angeles, Denver. What player in this series do you think has the most to gain by winning the NBA championship? Not just this series, but winning the whole shebang.
I do believe it's LeBron James, not the Joker. Yeah, I do. Only in the minds of, his minions and his people, just to get him closer to the 6 championships. And despite all the losses, because I do think he doesn't want to go and lose, but winning would just add another feather to his cap. And what happened this year? They started 2-10, and he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It will wind up being a banner year for LeBron. It just will be at this age.
No,
I think
I agree with that.
Yeah, I just think that LeBron has more. Like the Joker, Chris, is still young, and he's already won some people over in the postseason. And I'm not saying he could have a terrible Western Conference Finals and everybody's going to love him. But you saw he got way more respect this year from people already. This dude is a star. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Kevin Durant, all these players are like, dude, this dude, we get it. Why you won the 2 MVPs, why you were in that conversation.
Who didn't already feel that way?
I don't know, but there were always some people just maybe were like, oh, there's the analytics people. Like, they're like, I'm looking at it, and he's not that athletic, and he doesn't jump, and he doesn't do this, doesn't do that. But the numbers and what he does, just talk about how great of a player he is. But I heard more people talk about him now in glowing terms. Just, maybe they mentioned him before, Chris, but I think they've gotten to watch him. This team all year, top of the Western Conference, people kind of poo-pooed the team. We'll see. This is the show me state, Missouri. I'll believe it when I see it. And then they went through the first 2 rounds, and now here they are with a chance to go to the finals. And he might be the guy to lead them to this to a chance at a championship. So it would be big for him, but his window's not closing. He could go next year. He could go the year after. For LeBron, the clock is ticking. 20 years, Chris. And if he's able to get a chance to get to another championship and have a chance to win, it would be huge for him.
See, I do agree with that this would be a banner year for LeBron if he wins it. But I disagree that he has more to gain than several players, to be honest. Number one is Jokic. Like, I think, he's won 2 MVPs. He had to have some respect. I think he's been a superstar. Jalen Rose caught a lot of flack, I think, on Twitter today because he said he's become a superstar. I mean, if you didn't think he was already a superstar, I'm sorry, what you been watching?
But, Chris, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's an former NBA player who's a national NBA guy on the big national show, and you're acting like you're late to the party. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I think that was a I don't know what Jalen was talking about. We saw Mark Jackson make a mistake, about voting.
That was another one. He left him off the ballot.
But he did it accidentally, according to him.
But his other ballot didn't make sense, Chris. To be honest,
it didn't make sense. I'll give you that. But I agree that Jokic has gained some people's respect, but I think he already was a superstar, and he's already been to the conference finals. So this isn't any further than he's been before. I think if he wins a championship, Rob. And I agree with you that obviously he's young and he's got a long way to go. But there's always got to be that first ring. And you might not get another chance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody ever would have thought Patrick Ewing. I know he went late.
He went twice.
94? Yeah, 94. And then later on when he was injured. But no one ever would have thought Patrick Ewing's not going to win a championship. And so if this is like, we don't know that Jokic, they don't have a second star. So we don't know that he's going to get another chance. We would think so, but you don't know. So if he were to win this championship, Rob, I think, and I'm not saying we'd rank him already because it's premature because he's got so much time left. But that you would begin to think of him as, okay, where's this guy at among, like, is he in the top 10 centers of all time? Has he passed Patrick Ewing? Does he pass Moses Malone? Or does he pass, David Robinson? I mean, the discussion begins. I'm not saying you'd even have to have an answer yet because he's still writing his script. But that's where a championship would take him because the numbers are off the chain. Like he's got the numbers to be a top 10 in all time and this and that. But, top 10 center. But if he wins a championship, particularly, Rob, without a second star, and he goes through Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I think it really begins to cement him as one, not only a superstar today, but one of the all-time great players that we've seen in our league or this league. I actually think number 2, Rob, would be Jimmy Butler. Because Butler, golly, if he leads this team to a championship, remember I talked about Hall of Fame, I think that would seal the deal. I think it already might be, but a championship with that squad would seal the deal. And that'd be going through Giannis. The Knicks didn't, that's not a big deal. Sorry, Knicks. But and then going through
on the Knicks. Wow.
Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then whoever they would meet in the West in the finals. I think number 3, Rob, would be Jayson Tatum. Because he's another one starting to rack up incredible numbers. He's the first Celtic to score 50 in a game 7. First player ever. First player, Celtic to do this and to do that. But in Boston, it's about rings. And so if he got a championship, Rob, he's 25.
No, I get
LeBron
it.
didn't have one that early. Jordan didn't have one that early. And I'm obviously, I don't mean he's going to be as great as those guys. But this begins, it puts him at another level. I think 4 is Anthony Davis. Because now that would be 2 for him. And then, Rob, we talked about we expect him to go to a next level. Well, he hadn't done it. But it would be like, man, when the dude is healthy, he winning. And then I think LeBron is 5. And here's why I put LeBron at 5. And I agree with a lot of what you said. But this is the crux of the matter, Rob. For those who right now have LeBron number 2, which is us, and I think most people that will make a list. Is this moving him to number 1 ahead of Jordan? No. And is it to you?
No, it's not moving him to number 1.
That's the only jump he has left to make.
Right, but if he wins this, and obviously, Chris, hypothetical. They win this year, and then he wins again. Now he has 6.
Well, it gets you closer. It's a step in that direction.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you don't want to be LeBron playing 4 more years, Chris, with no championships. 24 years with 4 rings.
Well, you jumping ahead 4 years.
I'm
with you on it.
That doesn't look good. That's a hard argument. That's a hard argument to have.
Right. This is like, for those that think he's the GOAT, it is another notch on his belt. For those that don't think he's the GOAT, I guess you could say it gets you him closer. But my point is, it doesn't take him over the top and we're all going to be like, you know what? Let's face it. He's better than Jordan. He's the GOAT. So since it doesn't do that, but I agree. Look, to win 6, you got to win 5, right? To win 7, you got to win 5 and 6. So I hear you on that, and I agree with that. But he'd be 5 on my list.